This is the second step in learning how to handle integers. And if you watched my first video, you'll notice that this is a whole lot more complicated than what I had there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to show you how to reduce this to what we talked about earlier. Now, if you're wondering where you'd ever find this, well, it could be just a question on a test. But if you're going to go farther in algebra, you might encounter a situation where you have minus x, and then x turns out to be a negative, and so you end up with subtracting a negative or adding a negative and so on. So this will show up eventually somewhere. Now, I'm going to give you the shortcut first, and then I'll do an explanation. If the signs are identical, if you've got two minus signs or two plus signs in a row, you replace them with plus. And if they're different, minus and plus, or plus minus, doesn't matter what order it's in, replace them with a minus sign. So now we're back to that win-loss question that I had in the first video on this. We come up with gaining 9 and losing 12, and we come up with our answer of -3. So the rule is, if the signs are identical, replace them with a plus, and if they're different, replace them with a minus. If all you want is the rule and you're not worried about an explanation, then you can turn the video off and go and do something useful. If you want to hang around, what I'm going to talk about here is if you're taking away a plus 5, the plus is kind of redundant. You're just taking away a 5, so I'm just going to write -5 there. Same thing over here. If you're adding a -7, it's like, and then take away 7, so you really don't need that plus. Same thing here. The plus is kind of redundant again. It's +6. The only one that requires a little bit of explanation is this double negative. And when you remove a negative, well, it's just like life. If you remove a negative, things have to get better. So I suppose a reason here might be, suppose you're playing snooker and you accidentally sink the, I think it's the brown ball, I'm not sure, and you lose 3 points, and then I say to you, you're just a beginner and I will forgive you, so I will take away that negative. What I've done is I've given you 3 back again. Anyway, that's my explanation. There are all kinds of things floating around about adding negatives and subtracting positives, but if you go by this rule, it'll always work.